Hi everyone, welcome to back the channel. After Rush in 2025, another major element influencing the S-400's ongoing dominance is Russia's strategic modernization program, with increased defense spending and technological prioritization under its new military doctrine. Russia has begun linking its air defense platforms like the S-400 into a broader digital battlefield ecosystem. This includes integration with the Russian Aerospace Forces, Naval Defense Command, and even civilian emergency management systems. The result, a comprehensive, all-weather, all-domain shield that responds not only to military threats but to hybrid attacks including drone swarms, signal jamming, and cyber disruption. The S-400's new I modules can now process intelligence from a variety of sources: satellite feeds, aerial reconnaissance, ground radars, and signal intercepts and feed it directly into the targeting matrix. That means the decision to track or intercept no longer relies solely on isolated radar sweeps. It now draws from an interconnected defense cloud that fuses data from across the theater. By compressing the kill chain from detection to neutralization, the S-400 has essentially become predictive in its capabilities and no longer reacting to threats, but anticipating them. Another lesser-known but increasingly important feature of the system is its mobility and camouflage. In modern warfare, survivability equals effectiveness, and a defense system that's easily targeted is quickly neutralized. The S-400 is designed to be highly mobile, with launchers and radar vehicles able to relocate swiftly using off-road wheel platforms. In 2025, this mobility is aided by autonomous convoy routing, real-time terrain mapping, and eye-assisted path selection to avoid detection by enemy IS or assets. Additionally, Russia has improved the visual and infrared camouflage of the S-400 units. They are now harder to detect by enemy satellites and high-altitude reconnaissance platforms. Equally impressive is the system's ability to be airlifted, transportable by heavy aircraft such as the Il-76 or An-124. The S-400 can be rapidly deployed across continents. This logistical flexibility has allowed Russia to support allies abroad, reinforce strategic regions during drills or crises, and quickly reposition assets in case of tactical shifts. Exercises conducted in the Russian Far East and Central Asia in recent years have proven the system's reliability under harsh conditions, from icy tundra to desert-like plains. The S-400 also shines in counter-AV and loitering munition scenarios, which have become increasingly common on modern battlefields. Using its high-frequency radar bands and rapid vertical scan modes, the system can detect small, low-flying, slow-speed targets that evade conventional radar nets. In combination with short-range systems like Panzer S-1, an S-400 battery can create an impenetrable dome made defeating swarm drone attacks that are designed to overload older systems. It's not just about taking out large targets anymore. The battlefield of 2025 is saturated with intelligent, cheap threats, and the S-400 has adapted to meet them. One should also not underestimate the psychological impact the S-400 delivers. Military analysts often speak of weapons of influence, systems whose very presence alters behavior without ever firing a shot. The S-400 is a textbook example. Whether deployed in Syria, Kaliningrad, or near the Arctic, adversaries think twice. Fighter pilots reroute their missions. Commanders recalculate risk. That type of deterrence cannot be measured in just range or speed. It's embedded in perception, and perception influences policy. Perhaps one of the most symbolic events showcasing this was Turkey's test firing of its S-400 system in defiance of NATO objections. Though brief and limited in scope, the launch demonstrated Ankar's strategic autonomy and the symbolic power behind the S-400 acquisition. It wasn't just a military decision, it was a geopolitical line in the sand. That same effect is visible with every new contract Russia signs for the system. Whether it's Vietnam, Egypt, Algeria, or Saudi Arabia expressing interest, the political ripples are felt far beyond defense ministries. Critics of the S-400 often argue that its true combat capabilities remain untested in full-scale peer warfare. But that's the point. Its strength lies in its ability to prevent conflict, not by its destruction, but by the credible threat it represents. That credibility, built over 2 decades of design, refinement, and strategic deployment, has created a defense ecosystem where the S-400 is both a cornerstone and a conversation starter. And while newer platforms like the S-500 Promete are entering the stage with capabilities like low Earth orbit satellite targeting and enhanced hypersonic missile defense, they don't replace the S-400. Instead, they complement it. The Russian defense doctrine doesn't operate on singular platforms that relies on layered, redundant, overlapping systems. In that architecture, the S-400 remains central. Furthermore, software-based updates allow the system to evolve without needing complete hardware overhauls. Missile firmware, radar signal processors, threat libraries all are upgradable. That means a 2015 battery can be brought up to near 2025 standards with software patches, modular component swaps, and missile package upgrades. This forward compatibility ensures the S-400 remains cost-effective and future-ready, giving Russia and its allies a strategic edge for years to come. Training, too, has adapted. Operators now train on augmented reality simulators, replicating thousands of potential threat scenarios from stealth aircraft to multi-missile raids. In addition to regular field drills, operators are subjected to cognitive load tests to improve their decision-making under stress. In 2025, defense is as much psychological as it is mechanical, and Russia has ensured its S-400 crews are equipped for both. What's next for the S-400? Perhaps integration with laser-based close-in defenses. Perhaps enhanced launch protocols that can autonomously neutralize hypersonic threats before humans can respond. Perhaps a space-based support element that acts as an orbital overwatch. The roadmap is ambitious and it's still being written. But for now, the message remains unchanged. The sky is no longer a safe haven for hostile forces. Whether it's a stealth fighter, an armed dove, or a ballistic missile, the S-400 is watching, calculating, and ready. It does not need to speak. Its silence is the warning. In an era of shifting alliances, unpredictable flashpoints, and technological disruption, the 2025 S-400 Triumph is more than just a missile defense system. It is a symbol of strategic parity, a force multiplier, a tool of diplomacy and deterrence wrapped into one elegant, mobile, and lethal machine. To those who question its relevance in a future dominated by cyber warfare, drones, and IA, remember this: no matter how advanced the war becomes, control of the sky will always matter. And as long as that remains true, the S-400 Triumph will continue to cast its long, watchful shadow over every conflict zone it protects. And when history writes the story of 21st century air defense, the S-400 will not be a footnote, it will be a chapter of its own.